Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Joe Cioffi on this Saturday, coming up on 20 minutes before 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And I thought I'd live stream early today. I mentioned that I would yesterday. Been doing all sorts of yard work this morning. So I want to take the time out now to do this, update the weather, and then spend the rest of the day relaxing a little bit. Now, I'm just going to bring up the surface conditions that are going on right now, and I'll get a little bit tighter, and you can see the extent of some of these ridiculous temperatures. I've had some friends of mine tell me how they're out with sweatshirts on because of the fact that it's in the low and mid 60s all across Long Island, southern New England. We even have a few upper 50s. Waterbury at 59, not too far west of there, 57. 63 up near Poughkeepsie, so unusually cool, and North Jersey mostly in the 60s. Now, the problem is this warm front, and they're always problematic in even the best of circumstances, but we've got a situation here with this high that's offshore that's pinned down, and you've got light east winds all the way down to the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area where temperatures are just barely above 70. So we're not seeing, at least not yet, some daytime heating, which was anticipated at least for southeastern Pennsylvania and for southern New Jersey. I mean, this is where we had the Storm Prediction Center talking about a slight risk for severe weather. And you can see a lot of these temperatures back through Pennsylvania. Harrisburg is at 70. We're looking up at 63 in Hazleton, 64 at Scranton. I'm not sure what station this is. Monticello, with some elevation over there. It's 55. I mean, that's just incredible. Binghamton, 59. So, very, very cool. You get an onshore flow that's always problematic. And when you've got an ocean, by the way, that's running below normal in terms of temperatures, this is not helping things. So the big question is that warm sector and how far north it gets later this afternoon, and is it going to be far enough north where we could wind up seeing some severe weather across maybe central and southern New Jersey and southeastern Pennsylvania. So that's where the Storm Prediction Center's got their risk area today. And we can bring up the latest map from SPC. This is an old one, so just bear with me because I gotta, you know what, I'm gonna do it in a bit of a different way. So just hang on 1 second. I'll bring the temperature map back, full screen, and let's go to weather.gov, just so if for your own purposes, weather.gov, and from here, if you go down a little bit on the menu, you can find severe weather, and this takes you right to the Storm Prediction Center, and you get their latest forecast and radar, and also their convective outlook and discussions regarding what they may do later on today. So you can see on its current map, well, you could until I accidentally switched over here, so hang on 1 second. See if I can bring that back. Let's try it again. Now, this is where they have their risk area today, and it is that slight risk from southern New Jersey and southern Pennsylvania southward through much of Maryland, Delaware, into the Delmarva Peninsula, down into southeastern Virginia, and a fairly large area of marginal risk that runs down into the southeast. Also, there's this east-west area of slight risk that is indicated from northeast Texas and Oklahoma eastward across all of Arkansas, the northern half of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, and a good chunk of Tennessee. And that little blue box that pops up is a brand new severe thunderstorm watch that has been posted by SPC. And by the way, if you ever go on this page, if you go on the side, as I mentioned, you can get their latest discussions on situations, and sometimes they'll put out a discussion indicating that they may put out a severe thunderstorm watch later on in a given day, and they'll tell you their reasons why, and they'll give you even a percentage in terms of what they're thinking. So very, very useful here, and I highly recommend it. So like as I said, weather.gov, and then over to severe. So where are we going today? Nothing really much has changed in terms of the overall outlook. And I want to bring up, I'm going to start with the NAM model today. You know, one of the things we noticed last night was the fact that none of the models seemed to have a grip on what was going on in terms of what's on the radar and what was actually happening. And this became problematic because of the fact that when you're doing your forecast and you're trying to figure out, okay, how's this going to play, you run a big risk of getting showers in places where you might not expect. And then again, areas where you think you're going to get showers, you don't get anything at all. And this is why I've been saying that the best approach through all of this is to just go on the idea that anybody could have a shower or downpour anywhere, anytime. But through much of the time, it probably won't be raining. And that's really the kind of day it's been. Now, the new NAM really doesn't do very much in terms of any additional showers late this afternoon and tonight, but it does blossom out some showers and thunderstorms tomorrow evening as a cold front goes by, and then we're going to have that dry air mass, that dry, cooler air mass come in for the first part of next week. The HRRR today, as we take a look at the latest run of the HRRR, and this model, by the way, only goes out 18 hours. Not too much happening at the moment. It does blossom out a couple of scattered showers, but even here too really doesn't show very much at all for the rest of the day and into the first part of tonight. So you know what? This is where it's very tough, and I know a lot of people, you were asking me all week, is it going to rain? Is it not going to rain? I've got a graduation party, or I've got a graduation to go to, or a family event of some kind, and you know, what should I do? Should I get a tent? Should I bring it inside? And see, the thing is, in a situation like this in the summertime, where wiping out a whole day with rainfall just rarely happens, it becomes a huge headache in trying to forecast this. So going forward, we really don't see too much change in what we've been talking about over the last couple of days. Cold front comes through Sunday night, dry air mass moves in, a quick shot of cool air into Tuesday morning. And then we're going to start the transition over into a very warm and humid air mass, and toward the end of the week and next weekend at this time, we'll be sitting in hot, humid weather. What you see here Wednesday night into early Thursday is basically a warm front that's going by with some showers and storms that linger through Thursday, and then we're going to get, you know, hot, humid conditions with the ridge building off from the Atlantic coast westward into the southeast right through next weekend and into the first few days of the month of July. We only have out to day 11, which is actually the 4th of July, but the upper air will pretty much say it all. And I haven't really seen anything that changes my mind in terms of the overall process here. I'm going to go to the widest view, and we'll take a look. And let's get that first map up there. So here's our trough in the east. The last one, the last arm rotating out of Canada lifts out, and then you've got the shortwave that comes out of the plains for Wednesday night and Thursday. And once that lifts out, you start to see the ridge in the Atlantic building back westward. One of the things I'm thinking is that this is going to be probably at least humid enough that we could see some pop-up thunderstorms every day through the weekend and into early next week. When and where, I couldn't tell you, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do wind up seeing at least a few pop-ups out of this. And the upper high stays right overhead through Tuesday and Wednesday, so it looks like we could have, this could be the stretch of several days or more of 90-degree weather that has eluded us so far. And by the way, that's not unusual that it has eluded us. You do get some 90-degree days in June, but it's not often that you string together more than one or two of them back to back. Now we're getting into July, and this, you know, Climo says, you know, we're going into now the hottest time of the year temperature-wise. So this should not be a surprise. But you can see the big ridge in the east. The question will be beyond next Tuesday and Wednesday is that whether there's going to be something in the northern jet to come around and bring the the heights down, the jet stream further south, and at least stop the heat after, say, the middle part of the first week of July, so around the 4th of July. Not too much else going on, folks. The tropics are quiet. They're forecast to remain quiet. I really don't see anything of consequence in the Atlantic. We've got a couple of systems that out on the Pacific side that we're taking a look at, but I really don't see those being a problem, as they should be headed out, moving generally toward the west. And I'm going to just give me 1 second here. I just want to see. I didn't check the latest from the Hurricane Center. Yeah, so they have two systems here. Both stand a good chance of developing into at least a tropical depression over the next 5 days. The system that's actually further out even has a high probability, a 70% probability of developing into a tropical storm in the next tropical depression or tropical storm in the next 48 hours. But as I said, I don't see those being any big issues. So let's. I'm at the board with you guys. Dio Nankamar, Delvin, DJ Daniels. Hi everybody. Raymond, upstate New York, jumping up and down for the heavy rain that you got, but you're not getting severe weather there. Jason Schaefer, nice to see you. David Fuller, Blorox Cleach. You got the warm front and lifting up and clearing out in southern Delaware. Let's see how far north that warm front gets this afternoon. Jason Schaefer, telling myself to start the forecast by looking at the radar before anything else. Yeah, you know what? Very important. This is a good a good instance of where the radar and the models are just not matching up very well. So you just have to you're going to have to kind of wing it, and that's a good thing. The bottom line is, I think there could be, you could see a pop-up shower or storm, anywhere at any time, but I wouldn't be relying on the short-range models too much going forward, because they just aren't really handling this type of situation very well at all. Yeah, the pattern flip, Jason, does look like, we are going to get that once we get through the middle part of this week and that ridge starts to build going on. I think the question is, how long is that ridge going to hold, and are we going to get something to come down in the northern part of the jet stream to eventually knock it down? And let's see, I'm just trying to make sure I got everybody here. Did I say hi to everybody? Looks like I did. Dio, Delvin, DJ, I think I got everyone. Good. All right, so you know what, folks? It's a Saturday. Let's wrap this up at this point. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it, as always. And those of you who might see this for the first time, welcome to my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the little subscribe button here on the channel page, and you can set up your notifications, because we do these live streams at least once a day. And when severe weather is going on, we do it even more often than that. So thanks for being here. Just a quick disclosure, as we are a participant in the Amazon Services Associates program, which is an advertising program designed to provide a means for this channel to earn fees by linking to Amazon and the affiliated sites. In other words, if you link to Amazon through my link and you buy something, you get your stuff. Amazon throws me back some coin, and everybody's happy, and it doesn't cost you a cent. By the way, last night on the Joe and Joe Weather Show, which I did upload to the video library if you haven't seen it, it might be worth watching, if only because of the fact that Joe Rayo just celebrated his 40th year in the weather forecast business, and I'm right one year behind him at 39. So the next year for me will be my 40th year. So we gave him a hearty congratulations. Joe and I actually, in case you don't know, Joe and I have known each other pretty much for 40 years. So we both met when we were both starting our careers. We worked together from time to time, and we're at the point in our lives, in our careers, that now we're back together, and we are celebrating that by doing the Joe and Joe Weather Show every night on Facebook, every weeknight on Facebook, that we're, as long as we're both working on that day. So you might want to take a look at that, and do join us during the week when we do the Joe and Joe Weather Show on my Facebook page, Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. If you're not on Facebook, I also do put the links up on Twitter. If you aren't on Twitter, I uploaded to the video library here on this channel, so you can have access to it. Okay, have a great rest of your Saturday, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.